You're right.
Right, before we went on air, you went, something I need to tell you, but you might hit me.
I didn't want to start with it.
Well, we're starting with it, so.
Oh, for God's sake. I thought I could ease it in because just a
bet
little
you did.
wind-up more than anything. I didn't mean it. Oh, God, I've been brought to the front of the class straight away here, haven't I?
Yeah.
I just thought, with the experience that he has...
Oh, no.
Would Ashley Young have kept all them players on side? For Villa's second goal.
Actually, it's fucking horrendous with offsides and stuff. Actually, usually.
I thought that went way better than I thought it would. I thought I was going to... I'm getting sacked.
I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
I'm getting sacked. Oh, my God.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Give us a like if you're fucking depressed.
Yeah.
Because I am. Do you know what? It's so cold as well. I'm keeping my scarf on. I am indoors. I know some people think this is a shed.
No, this is a real place.
This is a basement in a city centre office.
Yeah.
Which we decorated to look a bit like a shed, but it's not an actual shed.
Oh, like this is actually inside of your shed.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, though, wouldn't it?
I didn't.
Absolutely
It wasn't the
freezing.
aesthetic I was going for. I was going for like Northern Quarter bar.
Yeah, I like it. I can see that.
And then someone was like, looks like a shed. And I'm like, it fucking does look like a shed.
It's a bit Centre Parks, isn't it?
Which is why it's going.
Is it?
Yeah, it's going.
What are you getting? What do I know?
Well,
about this?
you do know. I think you do know about it.
Oh, I do
Janine's
know about
designed something for that corner, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew there was an extra bit going in.
It's just... Anyway. Some of the comments ripping me saying it's an exciting time to be a United fan. It is.
It's definitely exciting.
It is exciting. I have no fucking idea what's going to happen next.
No. Couldn't tell you.
Before the game today, I was looking at the next 9 points that are available, and I was going, could be none. Could be 9.
Yeah, especially if Everton sack Marco Silva and have a sort of, Eddie Howe or someone who's making a resurgence with that team, that could be a really difficult game after the back of Spurs and City. We could be really struggling after that. If we lose those 3 games in a row...
I haven't even projected beyond the derby.
Right.
Because I'm just going...
That's where your
just got to get up to the derby, because obviously we've got AZ Alkmaar. That's probably, you would think, a similar team that we fielded out in Astana. So that's like a weekend off or a week off. I think so.
We're willing to finish second in the group?
Yeah, I think it matters.
Okay.
But yeah, today's performance, disappointing if not unexpected.
Yeah. It's just sort of more of the same, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not blindly Ollieing. I line up on the Ollie inside because, like, I just don't want to see us roll through 9,000 fucking managers. I want to see someone's vision come to fruition without us just going, that's not working, fuck off.
Yeah.
Every 6 months.
Yeah.
Like Chelsea do, like Real Madrid do. I would like to I would like to do it different because I think we are different as a football team or as a club. And if you're not, then why do you support Manchester United over the 9,000 other clubs that are out there? You've got to want to see your club do it in a way that aligns with what that club's all about. Like, if Bilbao was like, oh, this fucking Basque only policy is a load of bollocks, and should we just sign someone?
There must be times where they do think that, though. As a fan of Bilbao, sometimes you'd be thinking, why can't we just sound like a French player or something? But yeah, like you said, there's a reason you support. It's local. It's
why don't you just pick a team out of a fucking hat at the start of every season?
Yeah, exactly. Or what? Yeah. I think the scary thing is, though, I agree with you. I think we can't just roll through managers. We haven't given Solskjaer a chance to prove what he's about yet. The team just isn't good enough, and that's not his fault.
No, and I'm seeing the comments already coming in about Pereira. I don't want to make this all about Pereira, but he's a symptom of what the issue is.
Yeah.
We aren't good enough.
Yeah, our players aren't good enough.
People comparing Moyes' tenure at United to Solskjaer's tenure quickly dismissed the fact that David Moyes rocked up and had, I don't know, Robin Van Persie, Wayne Rooney, Michael Carrick, Ryan Giggs, Rio Ferdinand, Patrice Evra, Nemanja Vidic, Raphael, David De Gea.
Yeah.
So he basically had 7 or 8 out of an 11. Kagawa.
Yeah, and people always, that thing of we're not getting better, we haven't got any better, but each manager before Solskjaer has had a better team than him. Mm-hmm. This is the worst Man United squad
probably in 30 years.
Yeah. So no wonder we're not getting better. The players aren't getting better. Like, the manager can do so much, and you look at certain teams who the managers improve players and players play better than they are cumulatively, all that sort of stuff. But teams with bad players don't do that well, generally speaking. I was saying before, when's the last time a team with a worse starting 11 finished above United? It doesn't really happen. Like, if you have a good starting 11, you finish quite highly. If you don't, you don't. Managers do a decent amount, and they make the difference between 89 points and 95 points, or 60 points and 65 points.
A good manager can get a good tune out of a good team.
Yeah, definitely.
But only the way like having a good centre half can impact your team.
Yeah.
The manager is just the 12th guy that you pick.
That puts it all together.
Yeah, that's a manager can have a good an impact, like a good midfielder can have a good impact on you. He can make that kind of difference.
Yeah.
But he can't turn Fulham, who got relegated last year, into a 100 points team. And for all of the people going, yeah, he can. Well, why did Klopp finish fourth then? And why is he now finishing first or second?
Because he's got a brilliant team.
Yeah. Why did Pep Guardiola win back-to-back titles and now loses a couple of players and he's suddenly shit? Has he lost it?
No.
Or is the team that City are currently putting out not as good as the one a month ago?
Yeah, and the reason that the top managers keep winning is because, yes, they have better tactics, they have a better, maybe, way of seeing things and playing players, but they keep getting the best teams to play with.
Yeah. Now, the outliers, and this is why you can't ever talk in pure, like, the average manager, the average guy does this.
Yeah.
Because the good managers, with a team that's set up exactly to do what they're supposed to do, a la Sheffield United this season.
Perfect example.
A la, do you know what's probably going to happen? In hindsight, you're going to go, fucking course McGoldrick. Like, the way people look back on that Leicester team and go, Kante and Vardy, and like, there's probably going to be players that you look back on and go, of course they did well with that level of team.
But also, though, Sheffield United have started brilliantly. It'd be interesting to see where they finish in the league, because think how well Hull started. They were sixth after like 12 games. You know, sometimes teams start really well.
And they surprise you.
Sometimes that's because they've got better players than you thought they had when they came up. Sometimes they fade away.
Like Harry Maguire and Robertson.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Or, but
that's the hindsight of looking back on a team and going, actually, that whole team wasn't full of donuts and donkeys. There was a couple of real gems in there. And like the Sheffield United side, someone like Moussa might get pulled out. There might be a couple of it might be Wilder is the world class element.
Maybe there's exactly. And it's not always every single team is only improved a little bit managed. Sometimes, very rarely, a team is improved a lot by the manager, but it's very, very occasional.
Shoot Neutrality says an R11 now should be beating Sheffield United and Villa. Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's true.
But our midfield today was not as good. I think our defence is probably better. And I think our attack's probably better on the face of it. But the midfield, I think Villa's is better.
Yeah, I agree. I think we've got a
I think that was our issue with the game today.
Low Premiership, if not high Championship calibre midfield at the moment. The way they're playing.
Fred's a backup player.
Yeah.
And he will not be anything other than. And Pereira, like I don't want to dig out Pereira.
No,
and it's a nightmare because I go. All he can't. I mean, people go, well, just play Ghana. There's probably a reason why he's not playing Ghana
for starters.
Yeah,
bringing players in who have never played before into a team that's dropping points and has a ton of pressure on them is always a very difficult thing. That's an extra element for a young lad to overcome. You want to bring young players in to either campaigns like the Europa League that we're doing well in, or into teams that are winning games. Ghana could just easily get overran. They score a goal. One goal. If one Ghana mistake leads to one goal for the opposition, he's getting slagged off in Solskjaer's.
Williams is getting pelters tonight.
Exactly. Perfect. Yeah, exactly.
Williams has had a decent introduction, but people expect them to be at a certain level within a couple of weeks because now you're a first team player.
Yeah.
Guy was playing under fucking 23s like last month.
Yeah.
So
it's a big jump.
It is
and
a big jump.
And you're going to get caught out occasionally. That's why people like Williams, he's made this mistake, but you give him another go because he's 19. But the people like Jones, who had been making these mistakes for 10 years and they're not going away, that's why someone like a young lad like Williams is allowed to make mistakes.
Yeah,
and you have to expect that.
And this is why the manager will eventually have to answer some questions or make decisions about the likes of Pereira or Jones, who came into the team and now is no longer in the team. Yeah. So that's a decision that's been made.
Yeah. And I think if we had anyone other than Pereira to play who had any sort of experience, I think, Ghana's played literally 4 games. He's not even like Greenwood levels of experience. He's really hardly played for the first team, has he, Garner? If we had anyone other than Pereira and Matic, who's half a player coming back from injury, I think they would play.
There was a row last week. There was a row on Thursday when Matic only lasted 20 minutes before storming out. Had a row in McKenna is the word. I don't know anything other than that. That's the word. So
that might be the end of him then.
Yeah, and maybe that was the reason behind us not seeing any more of someone like Matic. But like we've effectively lost Matic, lost Pogba, lost McTominay, lost Herrera, and lost Fellaini, essentially
from a midfield that already wasn't that good.
It certainly wasn't the best in the Premier League.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
or Manchester, or the top 4, maybe the top 6.
Yeah,
so
and then you lose
when you go look at what Jose's now playing with at Spurs.
Yeah,
his worst midfielders is Derek Dyer.
Yeah.
And he's got some Ndombele, he's got Dele, he's got Ericsson. He's got some players that Sissoko moonwalk into this United team, and are probably our best midfielder. We don't have Pogba.
No.
As much as you can say, well, Pogba on paper, United have got, well, on paper's on paper, and on grass at the moment, there's no Pogba.
No,
there's not even McTominay
been for 2 months.
Yeah.
McTominay was going into the start of the season. For United fans, we'd sort of started to get an appreciation for him, but other fans looking in on us, he was seen as probably our weakest midfielder, McTominay, and now we can't live without him because of injuries, because of how he's excelled. But like, that's a midfield that shouldn't be the case. He should be still coming in, a young lad coming into this midfield, and he's one of our most experienced, and with Pogba not being there, our best midfielder.
Has Jose refound his form at Tottenham, or is the Tottenham team better than what he was leaving at United?
Yeah, exactly. Of course, yeah. and
is that not highlighting how poor Poch was doing with that team?
Well, perhaps, yeah. I suppose you could say that he did actually do all right with them, and I don't know.
Cup finals are cup finals. The league is the bread and butter, and the league was not doing it.
No, and he never wins. He doesn't win trophies because he doesn't prioritise trophies.
No, and trophies only feed ego. Look, if you're just sitting there commenting, Ollie out, please have more about you than just commenting, Ollie out. The fuck is that? Please say, he has failed in this, and this. Because I think there are certainly things, substitutions, team selections that I've got question marks about. But where is the long-term vision? If you just say, get Poch, there's your long-term vision, right? Well, the reason that Pochettino is out of work is because he had a better team than this Manchester United team, without a shadow of a doubt, and did not perform with them. Mourinho's gone and almost proved that in 3 games, just showing you that someone else can perform with it. Now, that's not to say that Mourinho would have been a success here. He was also not a success here. What do you think the fucking common denominator is? Right, do you think Watford have just appointed 3 maniacs, or 2 maniacs, because one of them was the same fucking maniac that was in there earlier? Or do you think that maybe that team's just really shit?
Yeah. And that their owners are particularly trigger happy. They've had, they had like 9 managers in the last 6 years or something.
Oh, well, they've had 3 this season.
Yeah, that's the other end of the scale. See, Chelsea are they have chopped and changed, and they've actually managed to maintain some sort of success. But they've had continued investment and excellent players being brought in that time. And when they haven't had that, like since Diego Costa left, they've not been able to score. They've not won anything. And the midfield's good, the defence is quite good. They've won things when they've had good teams and good managers. The only title that they won when they didn't really deserve to win it was the Champions League, but they still had Torres, Lampard, Terry, like an excellent team. But
you can cover up frailties in a cup competition better than you can in a league.
There's 13 games.
Yeah, you get found out in a league. Yeah. You can get up for that one night to get through and advance to the next stage in a cup.
And they finished, 5th or 6th that season?
6th, I think, yeah.
So the losing managers and changing managers all the time only works if your owners are buying good players in and around those managers. And that's just not... That hasn't happened for so long that even these good players that Solskjaer has bought just aren't enough at the moment.
Well, Sir Alex Ferguson, greatest manager ever. I don't think many of my audience, and I don't think you would be saying... no to that, or you might be able to throw 1 or 2 people, but he's in the conversation. He's not number 1.
He is number 1, yeah.
Right? So why did we go through 2004, 2005 and 2006 without winning the Premier League?
Yeah.
Was it because he'd lost it as some of the papers were suggesting?
Yeah.
Or was it the team that he was fielding wasn't as good as our competitors?
And the team that he was playing against was £600 million worth of investment from a Russian billionaire that had just gone to Chelsea. Like, it's not. I know spending money doesn't, necessarily win trophies, but if you look at the teams that have spent the most money in the last 10 years, they've won the most trophies. Like, United are basically an outlier on that list in terms of money spent to league position. It's Real Madrid, Barcelona, Man City, Chelsea, PSG.
Yeah.
United.
Yeah. What's a weird one is Liverpool spent more than United in the 90s.
Yeah. Well, that is where the manager can make the difference. Because bad recruitment and an excellent bad Liverpool and the best manager ever, like I said, with Ferguson, that is where you can go. You've spent more than us, but you're not going to do more than us.
I think Tottenham may have outspent us even in the 80s or in the 90s. I think it was in the 90s, and Newcastle definitely outspent us in the 90s and 1-0.
Yeah,
and you go, well, sometimes it's down to tactics and this, that, and the other. There's a handful of books that you need to read. Particularly one of them being The Mixer, where it talks about Kevin Keegan's tactics. There wasn't any.
No.
And I don't mean like, there were very few tactics. I mean, there was no tactics. Kevin Keegan played five-a-side and he played with the lads, and then he picked the team. And when someone was like, you're getting overrun in midfield a bit, he bought a defensive midfielder. He didn't change the shape. He didn't change the mentality. He never told anyone to mark anyone. There was no tactics, and he almost won a title.
Yeah.
Because he had a team that would go out there and play football, and it was a good footballing team.
Yeah.
Now, I think with a better tactical manager, they probably would have mitigated some of their losses, held on to some of their leads better, and maybe they would have won a title. But that's the difference. A good manager can add 10-15%, like a good, any position you want to pick.
Yeah.
And a bad manager can take you down 10-15% and have a team underperforming, and there's certainly elements of that somewhere.
Yeah.
The average manager don't really do a great deal.
No.
The average. Listen to what I'm saying. Average. If you don't know the meaning of words, go and ask an adult.
See people saying there about how you don't see a play style from Solskjaer. During the time that we won games, we definitely saw a play style under Solskjaer. Those first 13 games, undeniably high pressing, counter-attacking, based from passing the ball around the back to induce counter-attack.
Very direct.
Very direct.
On the floor, direct. Not the same direct the way Liverpool just sort of hump it into the final third.
But I didn't see much of a play. When a team's losing, the playstyle almost goes out the window. Look at under Mourinho. What was our playstyle under Mourinho? It changed. Every person we played against, it changed because we were so reactionary.
That's the Mourinho.
I suppose that's the Mourinho playstyle. Van Gaal, the playstyle was pass it around until we're all asleep.
We looked a little bit like a Van Gaal team today. Actually, there was a lot. And the reason for that was because there isn't anybody with the ability to penetrate. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say Dylan Levitt needs to start on Wednesday because I don't think he does. I would like to see it. I think what Dylan Levitt's shown us last week is that how much we've missed a player with those particular sets of skills.
Yeah.
Where you can hit it through the lines, where you can hit it first time with the right way.
Ground passes.
Someone, like quicker because we're very slow and pedestrian in possession because we don't have the ability. So like when you just see like a world-class chef and he can just grab a veg and just go brrrr, and it's all wafer thin.
And you're like,
right?
why does broccoli taste so nice right now?
Or you get like an average one who's got to take 3/4 of an hour. That's the difference in being world-class and being Premier League level or not even Premier League level. Yeah. And at the moment, we don't have... You look at some of the incisive first-time passing that you'll get even from like the likes of De Bruyne or somebody like that. Or even what Michael Carrick used to give Manchester United. There's just nobody that has that through the lines, first-time ball with the confidence to hit it. I'm going to have a look, actually, because I don't know what the script was with how many passes our defenders had. But I remember thinking,
today
we've held the possession in our defence here. We aren't holding it in midfield in the slightest.
Well, there was a few times when Pereira and Fred tried to play the ball between each other. And they just... accuracy of passes over... 10 yards, 5 yards is like... It must just be nerves because you can't believe it's as bad as it is.
It was Maguire, Fred, Pereira, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka was our 5 biggest passers. The fact that it goes to Harry Maguire first, it shows exactly, and you can see where it was. He actually created a chance.
It's all right to left as well, isn't it?
The pass combinations, Pereira to Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof to Pereira, Fred to Pereira, Wan-Bissaka to Pereira, Maguire to Lindelof. What you're not seeing there is anyone in the final third.
And every single one of those, except Fred to Pereira, has got a defender in it.
Yeah.
All of our most successful pass combinations are either to or
But
from
look at
the
those.
defender.
Those are literally. I can't put these on screen at the moment, unfortunately. But those are literally just perfectly
straight
sideways
across the
passes.
pitch.
Just,
Exactly.
that's just recycling possession. Not one of them is one of them being ahead.
Yeah.
One's backwards.
One's backwards.
The rest of them are just literally perfectly
We don't have players
side
that
to
can pass
side.
the ball forward. And that's the thing with Carrick that was underrated for all those years, as we've said numerous times, and he's almost not underrated anymore because he's so been talked about being underrated. But being able to pass the ball accurately along the floor, not anyone, a lot of players can do a nice chip 40 yards, or there's someone free on the wing, I'll chip the ball. I can do that. But passing it incisively to feet or through lines along the floor, around men and knowing which lanes to take is so difficult. And there's so few people that can do it, and no one can do it for United. Pogba can do it-ish, and his long passing is so good.
Pogba can do it.
Yeah.
But Pogba will get caught up in that's Pogba keeping it simple, and he does
Yeah.
it for France.
Yes.
Because he's got great players around him making good runs. We don't have enough movement, which doesn't help, but the player's ability on the ball isn't finding the movement that we do have. No. You'll see Rashford, you won't see Marshall making the runs, but you'll see Rashford making the runs, you'll see James making the runs, and I saw Lingard making a lot
And
of runs.
Mata made some good runs today as
Yeah,
well.
Mata actually runs around like a fucking
he does.
nutter.
He's
just not very quick.
No. But overlaps and balls, runs through centre backs and stuff, and along the lines and past. He was making those runs, but yeah, people just aren't able to find him.
Let's say the worst happens. Jose comes, and Jose's it up on Wednesday, and we lose to Spurs, which is this should happen.
Yeah.
They're a lot better than us. That was my whole Poch issue, is that he couldn't fucking beat us, and we're shit.
Yeah, Poch couldn't get rid of the "we are Spurs" mentality, could he? And I think Jose will. Yeah.
So if they come here and turn us over, which is probably good money, if you get like just good odds, it's well worth fucking throwing in. And then we lose the derby, which we should.
Yeah.
Does he survive the week? Do you think that they say to him, "Wow, that was a fucking bad run of form"? Four games. Is
where
it without
is-
winning?
maybe-
Where was our last win?
Brighton.
Yeah. So what would it be, 15th or something like that?
Is the
tough,
margins? We could have gone 5th today with a victory.
Yeah, I think we could have gone 5th with any win in the last.
Last month or something.
Yeah. I think he's really struggling at that point. I think there's wanting to back a manager in terms of as the board and as people who have to make these decisions. There's wanting to back a manager, and there's being able to back a manager. Like, the pressure would be so strong from so many fans at that point.
But sure, if the club have made the decision that we're backing him and we're going to the window,
I know, yeah.
it shouldn't matter.
No, it shouldn't.
And that just shows how weak they are.
Yeah, because the club know the reason we have to talk and that Solskjaer has to come out and say it's a long-term project is because we know that right now we're crap. So either let us be crap and put up with it because that's where we are, or what is sacking him doing? It's admitting that actually when we said we were crap, we were just scared of you being mad at us. We didn't really mean we're going to let us be crap because we are. We meant we're crap as long as we win. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to keep winning even though we're shit.
You go, where does our 11 actually stack up?
Yeah.
The 11 that played today, where does that actually stack up?
6th or 7th, I would say. I think we've got a top 6 attack, a top 4 defence, and a bottom 3 midfield. So overall, maybe 7th or 8th.
The best backup goalkeeper in the world.
Yeah. I think we're behind all of the teams that finished above us last season. We're behind Leicester now. Our first 11 is probably after that. Right. So what's that, 7th?
Jose Mourinho won a title in every job that he went to, even some properly obscure teams, really, in the grand scheme of things.
Well, Inter Milan hadn't won a European trophy in 30 years when he went there.
Longer, I think it was 1967.
Yeah, 50 years then.
Something like that, 66 maybe.
So, yeah, relatively teams that hadn't been doing that well when he got there. Chelsea, obscure.
Chelsea haven't won a title. They've won 6 titles. He's won half of them.
Yeah.
They won 1 title in the 50s, won 5 since the Abramovich era, and Mourinho's won 3 of those. And you go, right, this is a guy that wins titles wherever he goes. He didn't win a title here. What was that? Is that Jose, or was that an us thing?
It's us. But people at the time, and United fans and pundits, tell this thing of people. Jose's always been so polarised in that people were very quick to jump on him and say he's old news and that his tactics don't work anymore.
Not seeing that this week. Weirdly.
No, that's weird, isn't it? That same bloke that wasn't good enough for the Premier League anymore, all of a sudden is getting the best out of these players and, he's a good mate, we liked him when he worked for us. Souness and all that lot. But, yeah, he's obviously, you don't just lose it. You don't just go from winning titles to not winning titles because, like they did the same with Ferguson. That spell you were talking about, 2002 to 2006.
Not 2006. Like, Mourinho was the new kid on the block. They liked him that time. Fergie was old, dinosaur. Passed it.
Yeah.
Signed Michael Carrick. Literally, pretty much just Michael Carrick. Probably Louis Sahara as well about that time.
Mm-hmm.
And then won 3 on the bounce, a European Cup, got to 3 European Cup finals. Arguably should have won another title, but for an offside with Drogba. Picked one up again in 2011 and then another one in 2013. This is after being finished.
Yeah.
Let alone being wrote off in the 80s.
And again, finished when Wenger came in and had all these new European tactics that Ferguson had never heard of. Yeah, people just everything has to be written and described to be as extreme as it possibly can be. So if you don't win a title one year, you're finished. If you win it, you're the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah. That's just how it is. Ranieri was the best manager in the league. He got sacked 3 months into next season. Did he just lose that? No. Things go wrong and things change. But he was probably lucky to win the league with a great team. Really, but yeah.
Well, that's the thing. He was the right man at the right time.
Exactly,
to get the right tune out of
not
that
lucky,
team.
but good fortune.
A manager's job is about implementing a style of play which gets the best out of that team, and then it's managing the personalities and the friendships and the cliques that exist in. It's the same in any workplace. There's going to be cliques that you have to be sensitive to. There's going to be issues that arise, and a manager literally manages those personalities. The only time that people want to make this manager like a big messianic Messiah-style fucking character.
Messianic?
Messianic. That was the one I was going for. Yeah. Couldn't get it out. Told you I've been well thick this week. I got ill last weekend doing a 24-hour podcast, and my brain is fucking mushetoed. I was talking to Jaden, and I was adamant something had happened on Wednesday when it happened on Monday. And I'm like, no. And he's like, it just didn't.
It just didn't happen.
And I'm like, all right.
So managers of these messianic...
Yeah, people want them to be this messianic sort of character. Realistically, there's a whole team.
Yeah.
And that team is about managing the rest of the team and getting the best out of those teams and allowing that team to do what they can naturally do. You can change personalities and change the dynamic in a team and make it play in a slightly different way and this, that and the other. But fundamentally, it's just about managing personalities is what a manager does. Only Matt Busby came in was a manager actually considered a big fucking deal.
Yeah, and that was before...
Just a guy who picked a team otherwise.
Things were very different then in terms of training and fitness and lifestyle and all things that can make... 50% differences to teams can be done by managers then. They're all really fit now. Hardly any of them smoke, hardly any of them go out boozing. They're all trying every week. All that, the tactics, it's just different. The role of the manager, like I said, has been squeezed, and a lot of it is making sure people aren't falling out all the time.
Do you know what? The role probably has been squeezed, but the responsibility that they carry has been...
you're gone immediately now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gone immediately. If you're not winning, if you don't win the league or you don't live up to the expectations of the fans, you go at the end of the season, if not before, for every team, almost.
Pep Guardiola's considered this fucking absolute, godlike coaching figure. Well, Manchester City won a title under Mancini and under Pellegrini, who now manages mid-table West Ham and might be getting the bullet at West Ham.
Yeah, because they're not very good. Yeah, exactly. And then I've seen people saying, it's just proof that Pellegrini wasn't good enough. He won the league.
He won a league.
And
literally proves you're good enough. Surely, if that's the thing that you're going along down.
Yeah. And managed at Real Madrid as well. He's been a top manager. He wasn't.
To be fair, Madrid had done a Chelsea thing. I think I might have managed Chelsea at some point.
I did see you there for a while. You won one of the FA Cups, I think.
I mean, everyone's successful that goes there, so I'm sure I did. Yeah, probably a Charity Shield, but I didn't win the league.
No,
because I'm not good enough. Yet managers like Pep and Klopp have changed their team. Okay, Klopp I'll give you, because Liverpool was 8th and now they're probably going to win a title. But did he change the team? Not really. He bought new players.
Yeah.
Why are they now so good?
He did.
Virgil van Dijk seems to be the name that gets slung up around. Well, he didn't play for them before.
2 new fullbacks, a new centre-back, a new goalie, a new midfielder, 3 new attackers.
New midfield and 3 new attackers.
Yeah, Henderson and the occasional Lovren appearance when someone else decides they're injured are basically the only hangovers from the manager before him.
And Pepper spent, about $1 billion in 3-4 years at City.
Yeah.
Just to do...
On a team that had already won the league 2 times in the last 4 years.
Yeah, just to go one better than what Pellegrini did.
Yeah.
And it actually hasn't even gone as far as Pellegrini has in the Champions League, I don't think.
Well, Pep's never got to a Champions League semi-final without messing his team. So, I think that's true, isn't it? That's right.
Sounds about right. Let's roll it.
That's right. So, yeah, the team... That's what I mean when I said before. How many times do the teams that have worse players than United finish above them? Not very often. Because usually, when you're shaking it all out, the sand settles roughly in terms of player team quality is roughly the indicator of final finish.
Again, this is the whole thing. You get random outliers that did a little bit better or a little bit worse than they should have done.
Yeah.
But very generally, the league is your bread and butter that tells you exactly how good a team was and wasn't.
Yeah.
One of the outliers being when United came second under Jose.
Yeah.
And Jose literally says, that was my greatest achievement coming second with that team. Mm-hmm. It was second, but it wasn't a title challenge. And then every team around us strengthened.
Yeah.
And we didn't.
Yeah.
And then Jose made it incredibly toxic and had to go.
And then also every team around us hasn't had horrific injuries all the time. And we, for some reason, have. How is that? Why does that keep happening?
Matthew says Pep got by into the semis. I think he's not won it without him.
Maybe, yeah.
Our team was second 2 years back, but how many of them players are playing for us now?
Yeah. It's a different team, and the midfield's completely different. We had a prime Matic, who was one of the best defensive midfielders in the world the season before, and was still very good when he came to us. We had a motivated Pogba. We had a Lukaku who'd scored 27 goals. We had Ibrahimovic then? No, he'd gone then. Or he was injured but not playing.
No, because we had Ibra played the year we won the Europa.
Yeah, and then was injured the next season and left.
He played a couple of games tops,
Yeah. And, yeah, we had a better team then. Overall. Certainly the midfield was better.
So, there you go.
Yeah, there it is.
Improve the team, and suddenly the manager looks better. And that was the whole point everybody was making. Why did Chelsea manage to go from different manager to different manager to different manager and maintain success? Well, they had a good team.
Yeah.
They had a good team all the way through that.
Yeah. Like, look at Arsenal. They haven't got a defence or a midfield. No wonder they're not very good. They're inconsistent. They score loads of goals, but they're inconsistent defensively. Because look at their attack, it's good. Their defence, it's not. Like, they're going to get a new manager in who might look good for a bit. And
Chelsea are doing better than us.
Again.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, because they've got a pretty solid defence. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it's solid.
Yeah.
But they've got an excellent midfield.
Yeah.
Now, Abraham's come in and he's been a little bit of a surprise. But he's not been that much of a surprise if you watch youth football. Neither's Mason Mount. But the fact that you've got Kante, Kovacic, Jorginho, even Ross Barkley. Joe, how many of them start for Manchester United? All of them.
They've just got numbers. Yeah. They've just got 6 central midfielders that are all
you can
good.
reel off 6 of them, right? Now, do that for United. Go. Fred and Pereira.
Fred, me. No, not me. None. Yeah, exactly. We're having a tough time with injuries. Our squad's not good enough. The confidence isn't there. It seems to me that I haven't heard too many stories of, like we're talking about the manager's job, loads of fighting in training. You talked about Matic. That's one of the first things I've heard. It doesn't seem... How many stories were coming out toward the end of Mourinho's reign about people falling out? Him falling out with everyone. He hated Martial, he hated Pogba, he hated Rashford, he didn't like anyone, he hated Shaw. Like, it seems as though Solskjaer's got
He had a WhatsApp group with him, Lukaku and Matic in it.
Yeah, that was it. Just send each other pictures of the dinner and that, like, what do you think, lads? It seems as though the squad gets on-ish. They like him-ish. He's sort of keeping the people in that team together, which is, the one thing that I think will keep the wolf from the door slightly is that it doesn't all... The stories aren't coming out. It doesn't seem like it's all doom and gloom inside the camp. Is that a saving grace? Don't know.
There's things that are happening. and he is transforming. The face of the team is definitely different. We are the youngest team on paper in the Premier League. That's got to count for something. It proves we are desperately short of leaders. We're desperately short of some. Again, when we use the word experience, what we mean is people who've got fucking good decision making.
Yeah,
that's essentially all experience means. Game management and stuff. We've struggled, and we're going to continue to struggle until we get better players in, or we have a random shock, like let's say Ethan Laird comes in or Dylan Levitt comes in. But the chances of them coming in and being ready at 18 without having a loan experience somewhere,
it's very rare.
You're rolling a dice and hoping for a 6 on every fucking time that you do it.
It hasn't happened since Rashford.
No, and it's rare.
Yeah.
It's so rare for it to happen, which is why it doesn't usually happen. It might happen. I mean, one of my favourite stories of all time is how Matt Busby went 4 years without signing a player because he just dipped into the academy every time. And we only signed someone after Munich, which is a pretty valid reason to go and sign someone when half of your team has been decimated in a plane accident. So that was a different time because they were people that focused on youngsters coming through. But I bet that the level now is so fucking much more competitive to come through at that level that it just can't be done.
Well, there's a reason no one does it. There's a reason that United are unique in having a academy product in the matchday squad for 8 years. City don't ever bring people through. Foden's been promised to be playing for 2 years now and he still hardly gets a game. Liverpool don't, except Trent, play anyone.
Outside of Trent was the last one they had play 100 games from.
I can't think of any. Chelsea are doing it a bit, but let's face it, that's because they've got a transfer ban. Abraham looks good, Mount looks good, but the fact that they've got the transfer ban has forced them into playing those players.
I don't think they would have got Lampard without the transfer ban.
Probably not. Gives him a year to do what he wants, doesn't it?
Like that, probably.
Yeah.
Righty, that's us. Joe starts properly full time next week with Stretford Paddock.
Exciting, isn't it?
So if we get our copyright strike rescinded as it should be,
it will be.
Your target's 100k for Christmas.
For Christmas?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Piss.
Cheers, lads.
So make sure to go and check out what's going on Stretford Paddock. We're also about to launch a football team. And when we say launch a football team, what I really mean is a club. And what I really mean is you're probably not good enough to play for it, and I'm probably not good enough to manage it. That's literally our sort of level that we're going for.
Yeah.
So if you think you can play and you're local to Manchester, we are holding a trial. Just hit me up on Twitter. I'll send you the link to come and apply. We've had just short of 100 people now, which is fucked for the first trial. We will be running a second trial at some point. We was going to do 5, 6, 7 aside. It's 11 aside as of January. So
nice.
There's probably going to be a first team of reserves and a 21s immediately.
I reckon our midfield would be pretty similarly matched to United at the minute. In that the level of some of the people that we've been getting, it's quite exciting, isn't it?
There's about a quarter of the people that have applied, at least on the application, have told me that they've got academy experience. There's a couple I know for a fact.
Is it the O2 Academy? They've just been to a couple of gigs.
No, people that have only just been released. 18-year-olds that have just been released in the summer. Have started college and have decided to keep playing football at whatever level.
Good, isn't it? Decent
we are looking to join the football pyramid, so it's not going to be Sunday League. It is going to be proper football to the extent where inside 2.5 years or so, we might be in the FA Cup. Now, don't get giddy. There's no country going to be watching us, and that's going to be like pre-qualifying round number 7. But technically,
it's an FA Cup.
It is the
match.
FA Cup tie.
It will have the little logo on the corner.
Yeah,
amazing.
So that's what we're doing. If you would like to get involved in that, if you check out the link below, the Reddit, go and comment on Reddit. I put a thread about what we're aiming to do a little bit on my Reddit. That's r/Howson. I don't really go on there enough, but I did put a post on there earlier, sort of detailing what we're doing and asking if you're interested. We've got like a raft of coaches and analysts and stuff coming as well. It's going to be way bigger than I think any of us are anticipating. No idea if any country's going to come and watch us, which will be hilarious.
People sitting and watching. Yeah, I'd love it.
And as I mentioned on the Reddit post, this isn't in any way sort of like a political stand against modern football or anything like that, which is what a lot of these clubs are. We aren't anti-United. Obviously, we're very much branded as a Manchester United supporters team. So the only thing that we would say that's gonna make us stand out or potentially be a bit special. Is that we're hoping this is the first rung on the ladder for our coaches and analysts and scouts and stuff like that into the professional world, and possibly even some players, who knows. So if you're interested in that, even if you're interested in coming and being a fucking supporter, because we're probably going to need some, and I will supply all the pyro in the world. Let's fucking have it. So January, keep your eye out for some fixtures. There's a guy from Amsterdam hit us up and was like, they're a tier 8 Dutch team. Do you want to come and play us? And I was like, thank you for the offer. I currently don't have a team. I definitely don't have budget. As soon as those things change,
so good, though.
I'm there for you. Yeah. We're going to have it. We're going to play all the YouTube teams. But we're also going to be playing like the Northwest Counties and Manchester League teams because we want to see where we match up against those, and if we can join that league, we'll be applying to the league very soon. But if you're interested in coaching, interested in helping us scout, you're studying a bit of football analysis, and you'd like to get some real world experience, if you think you can play, if you're 16, 17 and thinking, I wouldn't mind having a turnout, I'm probably not good enough for the first team, there probably is going to be a junior team put together very soon. If you're thinking, I'm just a fucking raging piss can, but this looks like a laugh, there will be a Sunday League team.
That's me.
I think that's for everyone who works in here, to be honest.
Yeah.
So if all of those boxes are available, all of those roles are available, like I said, hit the link in the description. I think the Reddit link is in the description. Come and check it out. Get replying on there, and if you're interested, we will sort it out, and we can have a good fucking tear. And let's just see where it takes us. It's a great little adventure. I have no idea where we're going to end up, but it'll be a fucking giggle.
It will be. It's going to be great. That
it is going to be a giggle. There's no way it's not going to be a giggle.
It'd just be funny if anything.
Yeah.
And that's Sunday League team. If you're old enough, you're good enough. It's the opposite of the usual. Just be 18, you get in a game. It's going to be so fun that. Just get pissed.
Our Sunday League team. I wasn't going to do a Sunday League team because we're taking it serious.
Yeah.
But the Sunday League team, I was like, we're going to miss out on some great content if we don't.
Yeah, and also it turned out that all the players who applied were too good, so we can't even play in our own team. So we have to come up with a crap team for us to play in.
But yeah, we're probably going to have like one of the training sessions is just us entering a league. On like a Tuesday night or something at Power League. So there'll be lots of content coming out on it. We will be making a new channel for it, for most of that to go on. First 6 months or so it's going to live on my channel. But yeah, if you're interested in any of that kind of shit, come and check it out. See you in a bit.